All right, it's now 5:02. I'm going to open up the North Carver Water District Commission meeting for March 12th at 5 p.m. Meeting room 4, posted in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20B. The video being done by Area 58, and it'll be posted as soon as possible. All right. First one is public comment. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I appreciate it. Anyone have comments before we get into everything? All right. Okay. So I think I know why everyone's here. And what I'll do is I'll open comments a little bit when we go into our discussion on the rates. This is not a formal public hearing for the rates. This is just informational right now for us to kind of get our heads over everything, okay? So that being said, formality time is bills payable. So we have a few here. The first one is $30.78. We already voted on this, if I remember correctly, but we can do it again. This is just to pay for the lock that got cut off.
Oh, yeah, we did vote for this, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so I just want to make sure everyone knows that that's what that one is for, so I can get paid.
You said
Only
$30
took
and...
$30.78, and just for formality, we'll just do another vote now. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Make that motion.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I'll abstain because it has to do with me. So 2 and 1 no. Abstain. The next one here is, this looks like a Middleborough water bill for backflow device testing fees of $90. So I'll entertain a motion to pay this $90.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
The motion is second. Discussion. They're being nice enough to do this for us still. So I appreciate Middleborough very much for doing these for us. And yeah, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
So that's to Middleborough,
That's to Middleborough water.
and it was $90 even?
$90 even. All right. The ones I love. All right. The next one is Carver Phase 2 LLC. This is a solar. We have a bill for $2,911.65.
I'll make that motion to accept.
We have a motion, second.
Second.
All right, discussion. So my discussion is how much money are we getting back for this? You were going
Yeah,
through
so
that.
it's averaging $5,000 to $6,000 per month. I didn't have the breakout when I met with the accountant, but we're getting reimbursed. It actually more than covers the bills.
Okay.
They got a check for everything for last year. I don't know how it was spread. We have to dig into that, how it was broken out, but it covered everything.
Okay,
We paid out.
so we should be getting a check back for us.
Yeah, I think it went
Two.
into our account, yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet. All right, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next one is Solar America invoice, and that is for $1,235.48.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion,
Second.
second. Discussion? All right, same discussion as the same one we just had.
Yep.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Next one. All right, this is the town of Middleborough. This appears to be water provided to the North Carver Water District. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll be hashing those numbers out and to deal with what the final cost is going to be. But the people have a right to know and the reasons, and it's not right, it's not good, so. All right, anybody else? All right. So what I'm thinking of, I'm just gonna go down to the next meeting set, that we have to post a public hearing for, and we post it for 2 weeks. So if we have one, we have today, and we do 2 weeks, it puts us back out into April. And we can't post it this week, so it'll have to get posted next week. So that brings us to the 9th. Town meeting is on the 8th. So,
It usually goes 2 nights, doesn't it?
well, we don't know. We don't know what it's gonna go with, but it could. So the next one is the 16th, or we can meet, work schedule here, off. We can do the 4th, it still doesn't give enough time. Nope.
16th should work, right?
I have a meeting at 7.
We'll do it Tuesday or something?
So we could do 5 o'clock, and I'll just, hopefully it won't go longer than what I think it's going to, but we'll put the 16th.
Is it another night during that week better?
No, because of my work schedule, it's not gonna, that's my only day off. So the public hearing will post for the 16th for the water increase. All right.
Yeah, and I should have those numbers, because
Okay.
I talked to Middleborough. I'm gonna line them up next to what the current use, because they match up to what we use here, cubic feet, that's what's read on
Yeah.
ours. So I can kind of get a side-by-side of what Middleborough's rate is when they bill us, and then we can kind of get a better feel of where they're gonna end up. No, we're
Okay.
not trying
All
to go
right,
crazy.
yeah. The next one is the Middleborough Water Agreement. How is that going with the lawyer?
I haven't heard back from him yet. He said he was gonna work on it, but I haven't heard from him.
Well, you were supposed to contact him,
I did. I spoke to him. He said, yep, I'll work on it, and I'll circle back.
Okay.
Haven't heard a word.
and you haven't called him.
I haven't called him back again.
Actually, have you talked to the town administrator about this, about what type of agreement is going or anything?
Yes, yeah, about getting a open-ended agreement that they can turn the valve on for us. Yeah, he's aware of it.
Okay, all right, because he just made mention of it at the other meeting that they had.
Yeah.
So,
But I gave him the basic terms. He might have sent it over to Middleborough. I told him what had to happen. They were looking just for an agreement to kind of doctor up, and then they can work it out with their lawyer. But he hasn't given me any updates. And that was 2 weeks ago.
all right, so the issue that I have with this is that I can't talk to the lawyer about the water agreement because it would be a open meeting law complaint if I did. So the only time that I can hear about anything that's going on is at our meeting.
Okay.
So it
I'll follow.
behooves you to call him up like I do and say, hey, what's going on?
I know
All
the
right?
clock runs, yeah, so I'll call him, I'll follow
So,
up
I mean,
tomorrow,
this
see where he's
is,
at.
this has been dragging on for way too long.
Right. I'll see where he's at with it tomorrow. I figured I'd have an update by now, but I didn't know if he got it over to their lawyers.
Okay. So the next one is the Middleborough bill audit. So the bills we're getting from, we really have to look at the bills that we're getting from Middleborough and to disseminate because of the money the town's supposed to pay and what
Yes.
we're supposed to pay, and it's getting convoluted, in my opinion. So we need to sit down and have a clear audit of what is actually we're being charged for. So we're gonna have to have a discussion with Middleborough, and we may have to call them in and say, hey, listen, what can we do with this? If there's a thing that, if we haven't paid for the meter pit, which I thought was coming out of ARPA, I don't know, but something happens. Glenn, has that got paid yet? The Middleborough bill for ARPA funds or whatever,
The
for the
latest-
meter pit?
The latest bill has not been paid, but I believe there were 3 previous ARPA meter pit bills that have been paid. I think didn't the last bill just come in February, February 19th? But we haven't,
So the February 19th one is right here, and that's for the 36,000 for water, but then there's an outstanding invoice of 137,198.66.
I want to say that one has been paid. The one that hasn't been paid was the 116. And if you remember, you actually sent it over to us, and there's a portion of it that's, whatever it was, 110. And then there was a portion that they said was
Was ours,
yours, which wasn't, again, I don't even think it was $6,000. I don't
right.
remember. So the
So,
majority of that is the meter pit.
right, so
That
that's,
has not been paid.
okay. All right, because I just want to make sure that Middleborough gets paid. I mean, we need to keep them in our good graces, and I'm sorry. So thank you very much, I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
It was $250,000 approved by ARPA for that meter pit. So,
Right, I just want to make sure they get paid.
No, I understand.
Yeah. All right.
On this bill, we approved a payment on this invoice, so we gotta get determination on why it's different now.
Right, that's the last one that we
Yeah,
brought.
and we approved it, this is the same one it's the same dates.
Yeah.
Oh, usage, yeah, so.
So I don't know why it hasn't gotten paid, so that's why I'm gonna find out and,
Do you want me
talk
to
to
get
them.
with Karen on this?
no, I'll take care of that
Okay.
one. I'll do the bill. Discussion and vote on North Carver Water District budget. Now, here's a good one. This is a real good one. All right, so I did a budget for us here. I went through it all, and then we got hit with this draft from DEP that they're gonna require us to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, to do, and each one has a time frame on it, and each one has a money cost to it. So that's over and above whatever budget that we did. So our original budget was $996,000. And then I added another, the fines. I should have brought my glasses. $6,000 and $6,500 in fines, and then $250,000 for the new screens that we're gonna have to buy for it, and then the $100,000 for engineering.
We don't know on the screens, though. That's coming from them without.
I don't know,
seeing them.
I kind of take it from an expert in the system, when you get two different experts in the system that basically say, guess what? They've been sitting in like this and they're probably gone.
Yeah, but I don't wanna go on an assumption that let's put 400,000 or 250,000 here for this, when they might open up, it'd be fine.
So we work, from what I'm understanding for this enterprise fund, is we work under an enterprise fund.
Right.
And whatever money is in there, that's the money we work with. If we're gonna need more money to buy these, I'd rather have the money in the account. If we don't need them, great, all right? Then we don't have to give money back, we can keep the money and we have to ask less the next year, because we'll keep it in the account. But, because I'm frugal as a son of a gun. But if we don't ask for it, I mean, how are we gonna do this? I mean, I have my own thoughts. What are your thoughts on reduction from the original budget that I presented?
So I did go through, I mean, I can give you guys copies of, I just kind of, and it's highlighted in yellow what I kind of reduced down, and where it was is on the right column there. You know, I kind of, on the electrical, I dropped that down because we're getting, it's pretty much a wash now on the electrical. Maintenance of the facilities, you had it up for 10,000, I put it for 4,500, we've spent 3,700 month to date. This is just operating under the premise where it is now, without, you know, it's not up and running, obviously.
Okay, so let's just stop right there for maintenance.
Yep.
Okay, some of the maintenance things that are gonna have to happen is we still have to pay for the lighting and the outlets to get fixed.
Right. I think
We still need the cleaning of the property. The rocks that are around the facility are all grass growing up and everything in it. So that's gonna have to be dealt with. There's still trees in the drainage area too that need to be taken care of. Trying to think, what else? There was something else out there. Oh, we're gonna need someplace for supplies, because we don't have enough room for supplies there, and I have a thought on that. So, but maintenance on the property, I think it's still gonna be more to do that.
Yeah, we've already done some stuff, I mean, you get 3,700, it's been the expenditure to date, and I don't know if that includes what the town's kind of, we've figured the town would charge. So I went a little bit high at 4,500, I mean, we got
Okay.
3 months left in our fiscal year, so.
All right, next one.
Next one was the generator, we got a contract there. I just kept it, I kept it at 1,200, I think that's the contract for the year.
Right.
So it was 1,500.
If something breaks or anything like that, we don't have anything else in it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had to replace a battery, and that was a couple $100 there.
Right.
So, I mean, the maintenance is all great and everything, but we need to have some backup just in case something happens.
Legal services, you had it at 5,000, I put it at 2. We're up to 1,000 year to date currently.
Well, we also haven't gotten billed.
He hasn't billed any time yet?
No,
Oh,
so,
so that was the question then. Professional services, which I assume is a plant operator. You had it in there for 150. I just kind of based it on $75,000 for a year for an operator to operate the plant on a part-time basis. I didn't go with 150. I don't know what your thoughts were with the 150, if it's for a company to be in there, or is it just an operator?
so you have to have a primary and a secondary operator. Okay, the minimum, that's what you have to have. You have to, in case one person's not around, the other one has to take over.
Right.
And vice versa. So you have to have two people available, all right? And a lot of times, you're gonna need somebody else for assistance, because sometimes you can't repair something yourself, you need someone else there. So you're gonna have an assistant attached to that. So,
Well, the prior company had that, and it was $6,000 a month.
I understand, but I can tell you right now, we're not gonna get a small water systems in here to take care of this plant.
Right. I
And,
understand.
and there's a reason for that, because we have a really bad history for
But
it. So
I
the only
use
thing
that
that,
as a baseline.
the only people we're gonna get in here are larger companies to come in and take care of it.
Right.
All right, and they cost a lot more.
Well, we gotta, I mean, we can bring that up as a supplement if you wanna go a little bit more on that and talk to Karen. We don't know until the RFP comes back with bids to operate the plant.
Correct. I can give you a little bit of information, is I had a discussion with a company, and I asked them, how much would it cost to run the North Carver Water District the right way, with the right people, and the estimate was in between $550 and $650, depending on what services are there. All right, it could actually be more if you end up having to do more, and that doesn't include the chemicals, the lighting, the heat, propane.
To run a system that serves 145 people, they want $550,000.
That's what it's probably gonna be going for. So, and I did send an email to Glenn, so he knew about that too. Just to let you know, I'm like, not keeping anything secret here, I'm putting it out there.
Okay.
So, like I said, it's shell shock, but you know what? Unfortunately, we're gonna have to figure something out. So, continue.
Moving down, phone, 2,500. Right now, we're at 2,700 for the year. What? Oh, because I went off the current bills, what we see them at, that's what it was. I reduced that down. We don't have the charges because you had some services changed around on that.
No, they couldn't change it over, so what we have is what we got.
Okay, so it's like a basic service now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I reduced that down based on the current bill. Chemicals, I just went with 2,000. We're not using chemicals obviously right now. That'll come into effect. I don't know what the timing is on this. I don't want to put money in there. If you want to go back and work it a little bit, maybe it's 4,000 in chemicals. We could do that. I was just kind of looking to dumb it down a little bit. You know, what are we paying year to date now is what I looked at, with 3 months left in the fiscal year. You know, we don't know how soon the plant would be up and running if we got an operator in here.
So, I know that Route 44 construction, he wants a commitment by next January. So, I haven't talked to Constantine again. I'll call him later on this week and figure out where he's at with it. But, I mean, we have to get it up and running. And I think it'd be cheaper in the long run for us, but, all right, continue on.
Dues and fees, I just put it 450, I rounded up a little bit, it was 412 year to date, which everything's paid, I believe, on all the dues. North Carver meters, I put 1,500, I thought we allotted money aside already to
We do, but
purchase.
we don't have it.
Okay, it's not there. So I put
We
that
don't
where, I put that where we're at now for the year to date, what we spent.
We don't have any money in the budget right now, that luckily we didn't use it to buy meters, right now, and that would be a money in, money out.
Right.
Because we'd have to bill the residents for the meters and, the plumbers, but we need to make sure it's done right, for those. But we have so many meters that are old, outdated, that aren't giving good results for it, so they need to be done. If we don't bill people the right way, how are we gonna get paid the right way? We're not going to. So we need to put money in that
Right.
to do that. So, I mean, $260 for each meter,
Yeah. it's
all
expensive.
right?
So yeah, I was just kind of, dumbing it down a little bit. Instead of the shock, I think what was the increase over prior year? 700,000?
What, for last year's budget?
Yeah, from last year's to
It
the new
was-
budget.
It was 600 and something, if I remember correctly.
And you wanted to go up to what, 1 point?
Well, with the new stuff for DEP, because like I said, did you count for that?
No.
Because they're saying we have to pay for an engineer, we have to pay for all these other things, and, I mean, and just the ballpark figure was to check the plant out to see if what's wrong with it, and it was $60,000, $65,000. I mean, my budget would include all that.
So you'll get more documentation next Wednesday on when you sit down with them?
For DEP?
Yeah.
Yeah, next Wednesday, we'll find out what they really want and how they want us to do it.
Is the town involved?
No,
No, okay.
this is the North Carver Water District, they're the town. We'll deal with this and deal with DEP and hopefully
Yeah, because I don't know.
get around there.
What is it
But
we have left in our budget? Wasn't it like,
right now, it's 170,000, somewhere around there,
yeah, and we have,
for the next, but we have a $30,000 bill here for Middleborough. We got another bill coming.
yeah, so
from them.
Laura was looking at those, I think. She was pulling
Yes,
all
sir.
the
If I could,
invoices.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, please.
You did ask me to attend the DEP meeting. I understand that your meeting in North Carver was, you did ask me to attend. I just want to be clear about that, right?
No,
You
I
did
didn't
ask
ask
me to
you.
attend. Yes, you did.
no,
At the last meeting.
it wasn't voted on.
It ain't not been voted.
No,
on.
what you said is I'll just sit in the back and be
Yeah, that's
quiet.
right. Yeah, it
But-
was a Zoom meeting. I'll join the Zoom.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it might,
Right, I'm not a
So-
participant in the meeting, but I think,
we have to work with the town in some way, because we don't have any income other than the residents, what they pay on the bills, so.
yeah. And the town turned around and they're including only $200,000 in the budget for the North Carver Water District. So if we take what the residents pay us and the 200,000, we don't have enough to run.
Right, yeah, well, they're paying, they got the note they're taking care of.
What?
They're paying the note, $236,000 a year. I believe that's the,
Still, we don't have enough.
right.
There's still not enough money. So at some point, we have to figure out, say, okay, how much money is this North Carver Water District gonna cost us? And I think my estimation to get it up and running, so that we can provide water to our residents and also the commercial development, that's where we're at. And you have to understand, we haven't maintained this water system in years. All right? Mike, you went to the select board's meeting and said, we don't have maintenance money, okay? I have the minutes right here. We don't have money. Kevin Tracy went to the Board of Selectmen. We need money for maintenance. Don't have it. You ain't gonna get it. Never got maintenance money for this district. So the bottom line here is, it didn't happen, didn't happen, didn't happen. People asked for it, didn't get it, okay? And I don't fault those people for not getting it, but what I fault now is that we're in a situation where we have a $7 million plant sitting there. We spent 200 and something thousand dollars on these screens that more than likely are junk, all right, that would have to pay for it again, all right? Plus everything else that has to be done on it, because it's been sitting for so long now. So it's either we pay now or we're gonna pay later. Doesn't matter if it's us taking care of it here, all right, or it's the Board of Selectmen taking care of it over there. We're gonna lose. The taxpayers are gonna lose. Bottom line, because we're gonna pay for the inactions for many, many years. And I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated at this town, I'm frustrated with the past, okay? And you know what? It doesn't all fall on one person's head, it falls on all of us. Okay, I was a selectman too, so it fell on my head too. All right, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I says, the buck stops here. People need to understand the North Carver Water District is gonna cost money. All right, until we get commercial development in the North Carver area to help compensate on tax rate, we may not get it in the water rate, but we'll get it on the tax rate, that if it happens, all right? And I don't know if it's gonna happen. Don't know if it's gonna happen in a year, don't know if it's gonna happen in 10 years, no clue. But if we keep the system the way it is and we have Middleborough water coming in, we still have DEP on our neck to say, you need to have a water operator in there, all right, as a distributor. And we're not just gonna get a distribution operator in there because nobody wants it. It's already been put out there. We're gonna have to pay for a company to come in here and do that job. So if we're gonna have them do it, might as well have them do everything. So, I mean, it's frustrating, okay, but we have to pay, all right? So, would you come up with a final figure for a budget?
I don't think did it calc out? 650,000?
600, I don't have my glass, 641, 506.
But this is just preliminary. I mean,
But we don't have, we need a budget to go to the town.
Right.
So we're here today to complete our budget. So we're voting right now on a budget for the North Carver Water District for next year.
Okay,
No ifs, ands, or buts about this.
all right, so I only changed the things that I highlighted in yellow. So if do we want to adjust? Actually, anything with the column to the right, that's what I adjust. So you're adamant about the professional services fees. I was at 75. And you wanted to go 150 on that.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll cover the people that take care of the plant, and it'll cover the engineering cost, hopefully. If not, then that's the extra 100,000 I put in for the other one, that was the 1.3 million for a budget.
Okay.
I mean, I tried with my 996 to be as accurate and clear-cutting with everyone to see this is what it cost to run a water district. That's what I did. So,
Computer upgrades, the town's doing that all through their systems here, because it's gonna feed through the plant, and I think they have to follow all the cyber security.
right, but the issue that we have with that is, number one, we need a new computer system, but we also need the new operating system to operate the plant. And that's somewhere around $25,000 when we start tallying everything in. And then we also have some of the touch screens on the panels that don't work, that those need to be replaced.
Well, that'd be part of
So-
plant maintenance, so,
Well, a maintenance budget, but
Right.
how much do we have for a maintenance budget? Like I said, it's,
right.
we need maintenance for that plant. So, and like I said, it's just to turn around, get in there and figure out what's wrong is $65,000.
Well, why don't we'll bump that up to 75,000 on the professional services. That brings us up, 715 and change. I mean, if we get the fine, we'll have to come back to the town. I mean,
Could I?
Please, go right ahead.
So I do want to pass out a spreadsheet for the members, and I apologize for not having it for the audience. But what is on this spreadsheet, there's two things on here. One is the FY25 bill, which you can ignore that for this discussion. But in this box down here below is the FY26 budget put together by the finance director. And it's kind of straightforward. What it comes down to is you can't spend money you don't have, right? If you look at that, that's your FY26 projected revenue, right? And she breaks down all the different categories. User fee revenue, betterments. I don't know if it's a federal grant or if we get a subsidy, but the federal money gives us $38,000 for the plant. Retained earnings, I believe that number's a little bit high, but let's just stay with it, right? And then there is a water capital and debt stabilization fund, has almost $64,000. And then you see the GF, that's general fund subsidy. That's the $200,000 that is voted on by the select board. So I would encourage you to work with the $650,000. That's the money you're gonna have in your budget. I know you're gonna vote tonight. I'll tell you right now, my recommendation to the select board will be the $650,000. Because that's the money.
And understanding that that's not enough to do everything that needs to get done at the water plant.
I do understand that.
Okay, so the taxpayers need to do that, so it's my suggestion would be that the Board of Selectmen increase that subsidy to meet our projected budget, because at town meeting, we can decrease, we can't increase. So I can't go to town meeting and say, hey, I want to increase the subsidy from the town to $400,000. I can't do that. I can only decrease.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So if the town goes ahead and says, okay, we're gonna increase this, all right, and then let town meeting decide it's gonna get decreased, all right? Because I have no problem. If the town meeting wants to decrease it, go right ahead. I don't care. But I want enough money to cover my budget. Period, cut and dry. And I'm sorry, we can't be asking the 135 people that get water and businesses to get water to cover, all right, for the past stuff that's going on, or has went on, okay? So that's my recommendation to you, to go back to the Board of Selectmen and say, all right, we need to change that number to meet our budgets.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so you came up with 715,000, correct,
Correct.
right now?
Yeah.
All right.
Another 75 back to the professional fees, services fees. I didn't have the fines in there, though, from the DEP. I don't think that was in this preliminary when you said
So-
that last month.
The fines are the 6,000, I have my glasses today. Oh, yeah, $6,546, so that should be added on top of that. Okay, and this doesn't include if the screens are trashed.
Correct.
Like, that's the words they use, was trashed. It doesn't include the 250,000 for that.
Right.
So the town better be ready to pay another $230,000 for those screens. All right, which would bring it back up to where I was 996. So, all right. So did you do that addition already or no?
No. So we got 641 plus the 75 plus the 6,500?
Yeah.
$781.
781 even,
Yeah, it just, yeah.
averaging it out?
Yeah, average it out.
Okay.
781,000.
All right. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
All right, what's your motion? Just, I want to make sure it's clear.
Make a motion to set the budget for North Carver Water District fiscal year 2026, correct? Yeah, $781,000.
We have a motion, second?
Second.
You're seconding it? Okay. Discussion, anyone? Residents have any discussion? I'll open it up to you guys.
I just got
Yes, sir.
clarification, because I'm not very smart, and it's confusing me, because like, I'll call the town, and they'll say, well, that's the district, it's not the town, like, my check says town of Carver on it, so what is the master plan in the future for this? I mean, like, I thought we were going down the road of Middleborough, now it's like we're going back to getting this plant going again. What's that gonna cost? Like, just even ballpark it, I mean, how much more is this gonna be, and like, what are
Okay.
we gonna get?
Can we hold off on that? I'll answer your question.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the budget stuff, so we'll do
Okay.
budget stuff first, okay? Mr. Palmieri, you good? Okay. Anyone else for a budget issue? Okay. All those in favor say aye?
Aye.
No. All right, the ayes have it, 2-1. All right, budget is set for the North Carver Water District. All right, now, we got that done.
Well, we're on the budget, oh, we can just move.
What? Go ahead.
Do you need a copy of this sent up to Laura?
Yeah,
Okay.
you just give me your changes and we'll be good. All right, all right. Check hands. Okay. I put your comment on the back, okay? I'm not forgetting you, all right? Just let's jump through some of these things. All right, discussion vote on the RFP for operations and repair of the North Carver Water District. The last time we discussed that, I put a motion out there and it never really got seconded because it went right into discussion, and that's my fault, I'm sorry. I'll entertain a motion to vote on an RFP for the operation and repair of the North Carver Water District.
Make that motion.
We have a motion, seconded. All right, discussion, the discussion that I have with this, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I should have kept up on that, and I didn't. I talked to the lawyer today, RFP is almost done. It'll be ready by the end of the week, all right, and ready for us, which, when we go talk to our next dates, we'll have to have a discussion once he's ready for us to start putting that out there, okay? Discussion and vote on an operator for the North Carver Water District plant.
Did we do a vote for approval?
Oh, I'm sorry, I just did it again. Sorry. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I apologize. All right, next one here is discussion and vote on an operator for the North Carver Water District plant. I don't know why I put that in there, to be honest, but like I said, I think we've already talked about the
Yeah.
reasons why people won't come in here. North Carver Water District, an officer, and hiring a part-time secretary for the North Carver Water District. We should have an office. I know it was in the plans years and years ago that we have an office in Town Hall or somewhere else. My home office is inundated with so much crap and paperwork. I mean, I'm tired of it. My wife is tired of it. So we need an office, and I know I presented this to Glenn in the past, and I think we really need it now. We need an office so we can have a place to go and meet with people coming in, and we all, whether it's residents or whatnot, and also that we can keep a file cabinet here. So I don't know if it's here in the police, the old police fire station over there, if there's an office over there that we can use. There's plenty of them over there. I know they're not all being used. So if you could please get back to me on where we can have an office.
Sure, how about if we have that discussion after the town meeting? We'll see where it goes.
Well,
Correct.
okay, because, I mean, in all actuality, I mean, there was a person that the town hired that has an office that his job was supposed to help us out at the North Carver Water District, and that didn't happen, so I get those in meeting minutes too for it, so. And then a part-time secretary, because, I mean, we have a lot of things going on now, and Jill's busy, I know, she does a great job, and I appreciate everything she does, but I think that we're gonna need to have somebody for us, just working on water stuff. All right, so we'll put that off for the next meeting. Plant needs, I got some alcohol cleaner. We still need to hire someone to clean the friggin' bathroom because there's cobwebs and everything in it before anybody gets in there to work, so that needs to happen. I'm not gonna do it. But I did get alcohol cleaner down there. Also, we still need the lighting replaced.
Do we get any more bids?
Huh?
Do we get any more bids?
Well, you were supposed to.
Well, no,
You were supposed to, and then I turn around and I've been playing phone tag with a guy from Plymouth.
You wanna get another
That
one?
we had one, but we need three. We need three bids.
Yeah, I got one.
For
You
it,
want me to get
so-
two more?
I mean, I can, like I said, I'll send him out another message, because I had him
There was a local
before.
guy you were gonna follow up with. He bid before?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we still need that done, and the file cabinet, I was so generously donated a file cabinet to the North Carver Water District, so when you walk in there on the right-hand side, you'll see a brand-new 3 file cabinet there. That's a long one. All of the plans that we have in there are now in there. All right, so that's one less thing that we have to deal with. We still gonna need shelves in there for supplies. We need a plan for meter replacement. All right, yeah, we need that now. We can't wait any longer for meters.
Yeah, I think there was, you
So-
thinking 100 of them?
Yeah, we need to purchase them. And Middleborough, I guess, doesn't want to purchase them for us, so we have to go out and purchase them, so.
Can you send me that list of meters? Because you had the total count, right?
Yeah. So, so the meter list will have, are you talking about the one that how much we would put out there for it? I mean.
Yeah, what
it-
we were gonna get.
I mean, you have, like I said, they're 260 apiece, and we need at least 100. All right, I think 80, no, it was 80 for the residential ones.
Yeah, we had a number count for
Right.
specific ones that we were gonna get.
Right.
If I can get that again, I
Yeah.
can get out with tie sales. and-
Yeah, because, I mean, and that book is still in the plant for them, for it. And like I said, it was 260, I think it was 263. So we need that. Plans for all the water lines in town, we really need to find those plans. All right, because we're gonna need them with a new company coming in.
Did you go through the plans up at the plant at all?
Yeah, I'm finding a little bit here, but there's nothing really set in place for the whole line that runs down 58 and then Green Street.
Okay.
And like I said, we need those plans. I don't know where they went to, but they have to be at the plant, and they should be here in Town Hall.
Has anybody inquired if they're upstairs?
Yes, I did, and they said they don't have them.
Okay.
I don't know, we got a third floor with tons of plans up there. They're probably sitting up there somewhere.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
That's been, a lot of them are with the companies that put the water lines in and never turn them over to the town.
Okay.
Just telling you, they
Yeah.
don't exist in the town. It's
Well-
something I spent dozens and dozens and dozens of hours over. They don't exist. The latest water line extension, which was up the Greenway, they never were delivered to the town,
Yeah.
these bills.
So,
Well, the-
like I said, we need a secretary to turn around and to work on tracking down all these plans that are out here that we don't have, because we need them. So, okay.
What about, before we sign off on the final bill, whatever, can we get those and say, hey, we're not signing off until we get these now on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about ones that are already there.
I know, but.
The new
now
ones coming down the pike, anyone, yeah.
You know? 'cause-
All right, but I don't think we're extending it anywhere off the main track. It's not the ones that are going to people's houses I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the ones down Main Street, the main roads, those main lines that if those break, we're in deep doo-doo.
Yes,
All right, so,
absolutely.
all right, correspondence. The only correspondence I have is from the DEP. I got a call the other day, says, hey, where's your service line inventory? It's late. I said, okay. We have a meeting on Wednesday. Tack it on to that one. Talk to Jim McLaughlin and tack it on to that one for us to get done, because we have nobody to do it. The woman was really nice on the phone.
Service line inventory?
Yeah. So that's gonna be, like I said, we can't do that. We need someone to sign off on it. And I ain't signing off on it because I don't know what it all entails to make sure it's done. So, and that's that. Our next meeting date, so,
16th.
Yeah, 416, right?
So, we have the 16th for that, but do you want to do a recap from DEP, what we had just for the DEP one, instead of holding that off? Because, I mean, we have 30 days from when that gets signed off to start dealing with DEP. So, what's going to end up happening is we're going to have discussions with them. I'm going to come back to you guys and tell you this is what's going on, this is what we have to deal with, and then we'll have to vote, all right,
do that
to
on the
approve
16th?
that,
Yeah.
to approve that, all right, and I'm not sure if they're going to want a 2-week, to come back in 2 weeks to have that approved, because I'm not going to say on that meeting on the 19th that, yeah, okay, we're going to do that, because I'm going to talk to you guys first. So I don't know if they want to wait till the 16th.
We'll check with them if that's all right. Tell them our next scheduled meeting, which we can put that on the agenda, is the 16th,
Okay.
and see if they'll work with us on that.
So we could meet that night on the 19th, all right, just to talk about it,
Oh, next week?
next week on the 19th, if you guys are interested. It'll hopefully not be a very long meeting, and I can have the lawyer stop in too to answer questions, if you guys have questions for him.
So,
If it's quick, I can do like 5 o'clock. If it's
5 o'clock? All right.
they,
And that will be the only thing is DEP. Will you be available on that day?
is it a Wednesday?
Yep.
It's a Wednesday, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll look at, the next meeting will be Wednesday, the 19th. I'll post an agenda for that, and the only thing will be on that is the DEP meeting that I have for that, and any proposal that we need to vote on at that point. And then the next one will be the 16th, after town meeting. And then the 26th is the election, just to let everyone know. All right. You returned your papers, right,
Yes,
for it? Did you? No. Okay.
19th, right, next Wednesday? Next Wednesday on that meeting? I'm just confirming, yeah, next Wednesday,
The 19th, yes.
You said at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, yeah, for that one, okay? And then our real meeting will be the 16th. All right, we have that. All right, member comments? You guys have anything?
I do not.
No? All right, I'll open it up again to the public here. All right, future plans. Well, it depends on who you're talking about. Me, I want to get the plant up and running. I want water start flowing for the residents and nice, clean, healthy water from the coal property. And then hopefully be able to provide water to Route 44 development and behind Noria gas station if he has it there. Otherwise, we don't have enough money, enough water flow. We only have 100,000 gallons a day to pull out to do Roby's. If Roby's wants to develop, we don't have any. They paid a betterment fee, but we don't have water for that. Across the street, we have Shaw's. We don't have enough water for them if they want to develop over there too. So we're going to have an issue if these other properties want to develop their property. We're not going to have water for it. So that means we need to go to DEP and ask them to increase our rate, but one of the big things is we need a water tower for pressure. So that's $1.4 million for a water tower. So either the town's gonna pay for it, or we seek some of the developers to come and, hey, give us some. I can tell you that Route 40 development is not too happy with the town of Carver too much here, because of the whole not being able to move some of his sand and soil around to get rid of his hill. He's lost out on the big development because of him, so I don't have a problem with that one, but he had 2 people that are willing to get in there, now he's only talking 1. So I can only talk about what I know about, and what I know about is this guy Constantine asked for 30,000 gallons of water. So that's a lot.
So what is the benefit of getting this plant going, redoing this whole plant, doing this water tower, you know, hiring employees? I mean, is North Carver Water District always gonna be on its own little island? I mean, I keep hearing it's not part of town, but it is part of town, that's what I don't understand.
Okay, so the way it was created by law was the North Carver Water District is supposed to be a separate entity from the town of Carver. Supposed to be. It's never been run that way. It's always been the town administrator and the finance, they were all involved into how things are done with the North Carver Water District. The DEP, our operations and management too, all right, we're all part of it. So everything was so convoluted, and you never really knew how much the North Carver Water District really is costing the residents, not just you guys who are getting water, but the residents alone. That's why my budget I put out there is to say, hey, there are costs over and above what we're doing, all right? But there's also the fact that I tried to bring it back so that we have our own lawyer now. We don't have the town's lawyer. I asked the town's lawyer, hey, you have a contract? Let me see your contract. Well, never came back to me with a contract because they don't have one. The only contract they had was for individual issues to deal with, and that's it. So, trying to get our own people to do this. The problem is, when I took over, the 2 people resigned, okay? So then the select board appointed these 2 guys, all right? And it's been one thing after another after another. So the short term here, all right, trying to do the best I can, but this is what we have, all right?
No, I get
The
that.
future develop.
Applaud you, right? But
Yeah.
you gotta realize my frustration. I've been here since 1983, and that, how you said, oh, the commercial, the business will come.
Yeah.
That sign was full of shotgun holes years ago. No,
Yeah.
we've had the Cisco's, we've had all these big things, these mitigation plans, it never happened. It takes a few people to file a lawsuit, oh, that's all gone. And all these things you're talking about, I don't really think that this town is gonna put that much money into a water plant to satisfy all that. So what's our plan B? What's wrong? Why can't Middleborough do what you're saying right now? Why are we going through all this mess to get this plant up? Because you know, Jack Hunter and this whole dream fantasy about, oh, we got all this water, everything, and you know, it's just tap a well and it's gonna flow like oil down to Texas. That never happened.
You're right.
And I'm just saying, this is my frustration, and who's gonna pay for this? I mean, these residents have to have drinking water, but I'm not a resident, I have a commercial, you know, property, so if it's gonna fall on the commercial property end of it, listen, there's only how many big corporations own businesses in this town? What, Shaw's, CVS, maybe, we're all small mom and pop, so I don't have to bathe in the water like these people do, but I'm affected the same, because that's how I put food on my kid's table. So if that's where it's gonna go, where the business is gonna take over, it's gonna run businesses out of town. All the small guys now you're gonna be back at square one. I don't know what the end game is. I'm not down on you for taking a system over. I'm not. I just don't understand where it's going.
So the end game right now here is, if we don't get the system up and running, all right, then we're stuck with Middleborough water, okay? And what they are giving us for water is limited, all right? They will not, and DEP won't allow any commercial development, all right, for Carver if we're on Middleborough water. So you have a balancing act here. I'm looking at it from the commercial end to say, okay, yeah, we need commercial development. We're not gonna ever make money off the North Carver Water District unless we get a whole town hooked up to water, all right? And that's not gonna happen. I know it's not. But we're more apt to get commercial development, all right, if we have water available to them, because we have 44 who's got contaminated soil, that he ain't gonna get water out of that thing. And then the other end is these guys pay betterment fees to us and continue to pay betterment fees. Well, they probably wanna get hooked up to water, but if we can't hook them up, what are we gonna do? So, I don't know. So we have two options. We have Middleborough and we have the North Carver Water District. All right, we have those two options here. But there's always gonna be a cost with the North Carver Water District. Always gonna be a cost for that. Until we shut that plant down and DEP allows it and everything, says, here you go, we wasted $7 million and whatever millions we put in every year at town meeting, all right, and say, see you later, let it get cobwebs and maybe try to sell it out or whatever, if you can do that. But understand, we'll always be on Middleborough to pay whatever they tell us to pay, and we have no control over that.
Well, I get what you're saying, but like, I'm talking like not even within the month that we were forced to tie in. I'm talking within a month. They had finally got that 96 North Main Street, the water was friggin' perfect. You go downstairs in the basement, it looks like something out of an alien movie. There's pods of media tubs down there. They just had it perfect. And all of a sudden, oh, no, by the way, you're doing this. And that's what, it's our first rate for us. You know what I mean? Like, all these people, the contamination, go back in time and let these people get taken care of and have clean water the way it should have been. And we should have never worried about this commercial thing that's never gonna happen. It's just, in my opinion, it's never gonna happen, because I get what you're saying on your end, but when you try to attract a Cisco or somebody big, and then all of a sudden, all the mitigation plans start. So that's when they start pumping the brakes. Okay, I agree to a mitigation plan, but you know what, we'll give you a 10-year tax break or 5-year tax break. That's your balancing act. It's like you're losing on this end to gain on this end. It's to me, it's just a rabbit hole. That's just
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Go ahead.
Can I address his, do you want me to talk?
What, about the select board taking
Yeah.
over the North Carver Water District and
Yeah,
everything at town meeting?
It is a
You can do that at a
different-
select board meeting.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
You can do that at the select board meeting.
There's another plan out there.
Okay, you can do that at a select board meeting,
Okay.
all right? Go ahead. Yes.
So I could sit here and probably argue with you all day long, but I don't wanna do that, but the way I look at it, and I'm a taxpayer as well as a customer, okay? 140 some odd ratepayers cannot foot this budget you're talking about. The town is not gonna do it. When my wife and I moved to Carver, this was a hot button item, the North Carver Water District. The town is still being fed, you know, those people who were receiving Middleborough water. Within the first 6 months, they got Carver water from the cold property. From that moment until the moment we signed an MOU to go on Middleborough Water for now, at 1.5 times the rate, which we all know about that, there's been almost no complaints about water. Why in God's name would we put one more penny into that plant, okay? And I had conversations with the same people you've been talking to, Bob, and I'm sorry, I was hearing things a little bit different, okay? If we go on Middleborough Water as absorbed by their system, we're not gonna be paying 1.5 times the rate. We'll be paying Middleborough's water rate, because we'll be direct customers absorbed by the town of Middleborough. We're not gonna be through the town of Carver or through the North Carver Water District purchasing water on our benefit. That's the difference. Shut the plant down and sign an agreement to be absorbed by the town of Middleborough. And DEP, months ago, was ready to, they had signed off on that. But something changed, and now we can't. Now we gotta save the North Carver Water District. It's like taking a boatload of money and dumping it into a 1973 Vega, thinking you have a 1957 Corvette. It just isn't the case. When that plant was shut down, it was at 60% capacity of what it was designed to do, just because of the iron content. It can't produce 100,000 gallons of water. It couldn't when it was shut down. That's why it had to shut down back then. I'm sorry, but think about it. Since we've been on Middleborough Water, we've had not one hiccup. I've got good, clean water for the first time that I've been on it. Now, I'd like to hear someone else's opinion. I don't want to sit here and pontificate about it. I was in his spot dealing with DEP contractors and everything else, okay? Please, someone else say something about it.
I'll chime in.
Go ahead, please.
So I couldn't agree with you more. I've lived here 24 years. We were on Middleborough Water, never had a problem. Somebody came in, had this grandiose idea, and now we're forced on Middleborough or Carver Water, and we had so many problems. Now we're back on Middleborough, no problems. Have you done as much research to investigate how to decommission it and just walk away? I know it's a loss to the town, but it's gonna be a loss regardless going forward. As a taxpayer, I'd rather have a little bit higher of a water bill than have my taxes go higher than they already are. That's just my 2 cents.
Okay,
It was a
thank
loss to
you.
the town when Jack Hunter said it.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned. And then Bob, I can show you about $8,000 worth of bills when we kept doing the switch back and forth.
Right.
Because of the way Middleborough does the water and the way we do it. All the sediment gets pounded to me and I'm the end of the line. You know what I mean? So it's,
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I agree with them all, and it seems to be a big push commercially. What's to keep us from the town establishing a Carver Water Department for 140-something customers, and it's just a person that deals with Middleborough administratively for the billing, and let North Carver Water District do their thing for the commercial side? And I'm sorry about your commercial side.
No, no. So actually, Mike, that's right. So one of my suggestions was to put a gate valve at Plymouth Street, where the commercial, that we have that long-term plan. But we also have an issue with how much they're gonna charge us for that too. So, I mean, you don't want a $400 bill, all right, already on top of whatever else is coming down the pike.
Potentially, what's a betterment fee down the road for the district? They want to run it all the way down 58.
That was one of the things that I actually
know.
sent out there. I sent out there that, you know what, maybe a long-term plan would be to put a line all the way down, put a water tank behind the police station with a pumping station there, and then go forward for that. I mean, I put that out there, I'm not gonna lie about it, but you look at long-term, now I'm not saying do it next year, but, I mean, we're talking 10, 20, 30, 40 years, who knows what's gonna happen at that point. But, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan, short, long-term.
All right,
And-
so the plan C then, North Carver Water District fails, collapses, no longer. What's the plan then?
Well, the plan then is that the way the town wants to do it is the town wants to go to town meeting, dissolve the 3 members here as the North Carver Water District, and give it up to the Board of Selectmen. All right, and the Board of Selectmen will give it to the town administrator, and the town administrator is gonna give it to O&M, all right, for it. But, all right, I'm just repeating last night what was said at the select board meeting, is that, all right, then Mark Townsend said something that he was like, well, no, we don't want O&M, all right, and they cut that section out of it, so it'll be the Board of Selectmen, will be the water commissioners. So if you guys got an issue with your water, you go to them, instead of coming to us. So I can take my name off the website, you don't have to call me anymore, but, I mean, I don't mind. That's my job, I got elected to it, and that's what I'm doing, I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem with how it went. It's being done in the open now, it's not being behind closed doors. I like that, but needless to say, it'll go to town meeting, and town meeting will make that decision on how it's gonna be run in the future. But it doesn't mitigate the fact that how I'm gonna keep the system up and running or not. And that's a big question, because if we go to decommission it, then that's gonna cost money too. So whether we have it up and running or not, it's gonna cost money. And I don't think that this budget, the way it is now, is gonna cut it, but life goes on. Yes, ma'am?
I'm sorry, I just had a quick question, because I'm remembering something from a long time ago about what you're talking about, like years ago, that half of the problem we had with someone running the water or not running the water people was that the town didn't pay Middleborough for a while. And we got stuck, the homeowners got stuck between the town not paying Middleborough the money we were paying the town. And I'm just curious, I'm just a little concerned that that could happen again. Like now we pay you guys and you guys pay Middleborough, we see that happening. If it goes back to the town, is it, I mean, I just fear that the same thing would happen, that we as the homeowners are gonna pay the town, but then something's gonna happen that Middleborough doesn't get paid. And Middleborough, last time I remember it happening, they shut off all our water. This was years ago.
Yeah.
But that was like the first drop of that bucket.
I don't think you'd see that now. I think that was something
That was
the group-
something,
Yeah.
The group that was here prior.
I don't know. I can't say.
like I said, it was years ago.
Yeah,
It
I
was
can't say
years
it
ago.
won't happen, all right? But what I can say is they put a meter pit in, so there's one master meter. So water coming in that's how Middleborough's gonna give us a rate from that. They're not gonna use what they're doing now, is taking everyone's, this is what the meter readers are, here you go. All right, that's what the bill, they're gonna bill us one bill, all right, for all the water, and then it's up for the town to turn around and charge all you guys for that water. And that's how it'll
So you're
happen.
gonna take our meters and balance it out to what their water flow says.
No, we can't do that. We have to go by whatever your meter says. We can
That's what
only
I'm saying.
charge
You're
you
gonna
for that.
take- You're gonna take each person's meter and say, okay, this is what it is, and add it all up and see if it equals what they're saying we
Well,
use.
that's the goal, but,
That's
I
the
mean,
goal.
and if it doesn't, we know there's a leak somewhere. That's the only way we'll figure out if there's gonna be, if there's a leak somewhere, all right? And then we have to look for it.
If we're absorbed by Middleborough, does that mean then Middleborough would
We would just pay Middleborough
charge us
directly.
directly, or would we still go through Carver?
No, you would still be billed through Carver, because of that, we paid that $90-something thousand for the 200-something for the meter pit or whatever. For that, I don't think that Middleborough will just turn around and start,
Well, when they said
Doing
absorbed,
it.
I wasn't sure what that actually meant.
yeah,
In meetings I had had with Middleborough, they would take care of the billing.
yeah.
The
Well,
only thing Middleborough can't do, this is coming from Middleborough, is they cannot charge, you know, if you don't pay your tax bill and then, or they put a.
They can't put a lien on your property.
They can, Carver would have to put the lien on.
Right,
For Middleborough. Other than that, they could bill it, the whole 9 yards.
yeah. Now,
They
see,
would
that
be
was,
your water.
that was before, we don't know,
I know, you're.
we're doing one here, all right? And we're only looking at what we are here to do here. The town of Carver, if the town of Carver takes it over, then, oh my God, all right, they can negotiate a new deal with Middleborough at that point, all right, on how it's doing. But the big thing is, the controlling factor is that you have 5 Board of Selectmen members that will be water commissioners, all right? And if you don't have water, hopefully one of them, you can pick the phone up and say, I don't have water, all right, to know it will get done, all right? Right now, across the way over here in Meadowbrook, they don't have water. I get phone calls that they don't have water, and I'm like, well, call the non-emergency line or the police station and go ahead and do it that way, all right? But you need to have that contact 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for your water, all right? So, I mean, there's a lot, it's not just the changing over of the guard if this happens at town meeting, but if you look at history here, anything I get involved in here in town, they take it away. So, all right, I'm doing the best I can, that's all I can say. Same here, Eric's done a great job here helping out, so, with everything, but, any other questions? Hopefully I answered everyone's. No? Okay. I appreciate everyone's comments, I do. It'll come back again. Like I said, town meeting, go to town meeting, have your voice be heard. That's your opportunity, you are the legislators. You tell the town what to do, all right? Don't let them push you around, okay? Stand up for what you believe in, all right? And I do the same thing, so. Anybody else?
Good.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion, second, discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're good, we're done.